The place to be is living free in Tennessee.
Welcome to Living Free Tennessee, where we talk about building the life you choose on your terms. Today is Monday, October 23rd, 2023, and this is episode 807 of Living Free in Tennessee. And here's what we're going to do today. So if you are on the live stream, I am live streaming just the introduction to this episode because it's a previous recording from my presentation at the Midwest Preparedness Project Expo or festival that I did a couple weeks ago. And so I just wanted to do my morning segments and then go straight into that. If you want to hear this, then go find episode 807 at livingfreeintennessee.com or through any podcatcher that you use. So it's a recording of the SMART Homesteading presentation, and it's all about like organizing your project in like your projects in small like bite-sized pieces so that you can get more done in a day, especially on a homestead. This is something I've noticed, like people are like, how do you do it all? And the answer is I don't, but I do think about dinner in the morning so that whatever steps needed to be taken at whatever time are done. And dinner usually only takes about 15 minutes of my time to cook, unless I'm doing something involved. So it's just that it takes longer to do the actual cooking. And I just kind of share some of those perspectives. And I think you'll like the recording a lot. The reason we're doing today's show this way, because I was planning to do a big old long debrief of Self-Reliance Festival, which was amazing, is that my stepfather is very, very ill. And I am finishing this up and then getting in my car and going to the airport and flying to California. This also means, so first segment today is what our live stream schedule is like this week. I do have an interview scheduled Thursday with Jenny Hill about dealing with cancer, but I don't know if that's going to happen because all schedules are up in the air this week, but it will probably happen unless like something big happens. So other than that, I don't have other live stream scheduled. I'm going to try to get Tactical to go live with me on Saturday to do homestead happenings on Saturday. Okay, so before we go into the live to the normal segments, I do want to talk about our featured event of today's show. It's coming up this weekend. The Kentucky Sustainable Living Expo at KentuckySustainableLiving.com is a free event you can check out. And I think it's a really cool one. If you've missed all of these other festivals, if you hear today's presentation and you're like, man, I wish I could have seen something like that. Well, think about what you're doing this weekend and head out to the Kentucky Sustainable Living Expo. I think it's going to be a really good time. I'm sad to be missing it. I'm flying to Jack Spirko's this after I get back. Like I'm coming back from California. I'm home for like half a day and then I go to Jack Spirko's for the week. So it's a little bit whirlwindy. You're going to have a lot of like previously recorded episodes for the next 2 weeks. That's all I'm going to say. I'll probably record one from Dallas and let that and release that to the world as well. Also want to thank our two sponsors of today's show, Agris Tax Advice. AgrisTaxAdvice.com is where you can go to connect with Matthew Sursley, who can help you analyze your finances, make decisions about how you structure yourself, learn the best way to track your expenses, understands risks associated with different choices that you make, and keep more of your money, which is what you should do. Head over to agristaxadvice.com to check out more about that. If you type in /LFTN, you can sign up for a free consultation. I had one last week. I was like, it's time for me to look at my expenses. So I had a free consultation with him so he could see if he could help me. And I'm pretty excited about the things I learned just on that one call. And it's free, guys, to do that part. Anyway, second sponsor of today's EMP Shield. They have a device that is the only device I know of on the market that insures your appliances against a lightning bolt for up to $25,000 in replacement costs if their device fails. So for like $350, you can protect your house against a surge that could take out all of your appliances. It's like a $350 insurance policy for your home. And it's way easier to deal with replacing that device that's blown out than all of your appliances. Ask me how I know. Actually, the only reason I know it didn't happen to me happened to my neighbor down the road. It hit the transformer outside her house, blew out everything. Computers, refrigerators, stoves, microwaves, like everything she had that was electric and plugged in, TVs just got fried. So I think it's a pretty cool device. If you want $50 off, use coupon code LFTN when you buy one. It's information on that's at empshield.com. Thanks, guys, in the comments for telling me safe travels. It's been a whirlwind the last couple weeks. That's all I can say. With that, it's time for our first segment of today's show, Tales from the Prepper Pantry. I'm just going to talk. So I'm going to kind of freestyle the segments today so you get a little bit of your normal intro. Usually what I'm talking about is what we're doing for the pantry and resupplying and all that, and I need to resupply. I am like literally ordering things online from airports right now that I know need to be, because I keep track, right? And today I have 2 orders I need to put in. One is for essential oils and one is for vitamins. So those things are going to happen. And I'll probably do that from the airport over the Wi-Fi. That's actually a really cool way to save time when you feel busy, to not have to physically go buy those things. And there are a lot of things that I get delivered to the house that just make my life easier. And that's kind of synonymous with today's podcast. But also, like, how do you eat on plan when you're like busy all the time? We did a segment on this a little while ago. And like, I came home from Dixie's wedding yesterday, so drove 5 hours, and then I decided to delay departure. I was going to fly out yesterday, delay departure because we weren't in an acute crisis situation in California, so that I could spend time yesterday afternoon and this morning getting things packed for Jack Spirko's and being a little bit more like, have I finished the tasks that I need to be here to do? So got that done. And part of that was eating on plan. So when you travel, it can be hard if you are a ketovore, eating all whole foods, to stay that way. The good news is I already have pre-freeze dried meals. So everywhere I'm going, I'm bringing a meal or two. I bring my metal hollow roast, coffee cup, and a spork, because if I can get hot water, I can eat on plan. Also, I've learned how to order at the restaurant. I just go a la carte. Like when I was driving to Dixie's, I hit the gas station where they sell the sausage biscuits, and I ordered 6 sausage patties, and I paid $6 for that. And that's what I ate on the way to Dixie's. And then on the way back, I hit, because I didn't feel like boiling water. This was me being lazy. I hit the Waffle House, and I had them fry me up a bowl of sausage too. So you can do it. It takes discipline, and when you are stressed out because a family member is sick, then you have a tendency to A, crave a bunch of crap you shouldn't be eating, and B, because that's emotion eating, right? And B, like the brain isn't always as sharp when you're like in a grieving cycle. So what I did here to get ready for California, my sister called me and said, what do I need to have on hand? I have a bunch of Butcher Box in the freezer. And I'm like, what I'm really going to want is carbonated water, because I like club soda. And I really like it when I'm sad instead of beer. It's a really good replacement for me, and it's way better for me to do that. And then I told her one other thing. I don't remember what it was. I was like, if you've got meat I can cook, I'm fine as long as I have club soda. And there was one other thing, but I don't remember what it was. Anyway, club soda and meat I can cook is fine. That's like literally all I need. So, heavy whipping cream for my coffee. So I actually can do without that, but it's really nice to have. And so that's how I keep, like, I have family there so they can help me. But also I keep these. So this time of year at the store, you can buy summer sausages, which are shelf stable, and they're big. Okay. So this is not homemade. It's not homemade. I actually have a homemade one that I'm bringing to Jack Spirko's to share with people, but that's a different story. So you can make homemade summer sausage that is shelf stable. But I just buy one at the store, and what I'm doing today, and I keep it to serve if like people show up and I want to do a charcuterie platter and I hadn't planned on it and I didn't pre-cook anything. It's like I can put it out with pickled stuff. We're good. Well, it's also something that's shelf stable that I don't have to put in a cooler on a flight. So I'm slicing those up, putting them in a Ziploc baggie, so I have like a basic good snack, so I don't get like stuck paying $15 for jerky at the airport, or buying potato chips. Basically, those are the things that would happen underway. All of that is made possible by me having delayed my flight a day. So that's how I'm tapping into the prepper pantry. That's how those are some of the preps I keep in there, or the things I keep in there that we do cycle through. Like if we don't use the summer sausage by around Christmas, then we have a series of get-togethers or whatever, and I'll put them out as charcuterie and then replace them every year because I don't want summer sausage sitting around for 5 years. But it's a really great thing to have in my preps that I can just tap into to at least stay semi-healthy in busy times. And of course, I probably am going to have an ice cream cone at some point this week with my nieces, full disclosure. I also don't necessarily stay Nazi about it all the time, but if you let yourself, if like for me, it's a health issue. If I let myself go off my more nutritionally based diet for too many days or too many times, I actually get I don't feel good. And then when you're also dealing with a high stress situation, which we are right now, um, then it's harder to deal with it because you don't feel good. So like right now, it's like really don't drink alcohol and stay on plan most of the time. As long as I do that, I'm pretty much okay. Okay. Next, we have the weekly shopping report from Joe, which I don't have, but I'm sure he put it out. I met Joe. I just put this in here because I met Joe at Self-Reliance Festival, and it was a delight to meet him. Really enjoyed getting to know him a little bit. Super nice guy. And I was like, I hope you don't mind that I just like read your shopping report. So guys, if you want to see this week's shopping report from Joe, I recommend you go to MeWe and join the Living Free in Tennessee group there, and you can see what he wrote this week. He has been putting up a report of his shopping experiences once a week for over a year, I think 2 years now. And he did it because he thought it would be interesting to be able to empirically go back and see like what have prices been doing, how have stock levels been, because there's a lot of fear out there saying sky is falling. And then he's like, okay, yeah, stock levels are low. I don't know what that means, but they're low. And then a couple weeks later, they're replenished. And it's been interesting to watch that as well as track the prices. Like he tracks prices on a 2x4 and all of those other things. If you listen to my show, you know that. To see what those have done, because I think our high point on the 2x4x8 was about $13, and we're down in the $3 range now. But we started at $1 to $2 for those before 2020. So it's just, we hear the consumer reports index on what inflation is, but that number is so separated from reality that I actually find his data points more interesting. Like, what does milk cost? What do eggs cost? What does butter cost? What does a 2x4 cost? What is gas looking like these days? Yeah, Faith says, I met Joe. I met Faith. Anyway, so it was really cool to do that. And with that, I am going to wrap up for the day. I just wanted to make sure my YouTube people knew what was going on and my Odyssey people knew what was going on with the live stream schedule. We will be live Thursday unless something big happens. And then I'm going to try to be live Saturday as well. So, guys, make the best of your week, and I will see you on Thursday.